I think we got it. And we're up. We're live. Welcome, everybody, to the BIA Gamecast, the Brothers in Arms. I'm Crazy Mate Gaming, and it's my brother. Yeah, and welcome to just chill with us and talk games. So, talk about what's going on in the gaming universe. So I kind of want to go back on what we talked a little bit about last time we had it, uh, just to get this uh, out of the way. And we talked about Anthem next, and if uh, EA was going to continue that, they had their consensus, and it's sadly Anthem is it's just gone. We're not really gonna it's just pretty much dead, which is a shame because I think if they really stuck with it, they could have bring it back, but EA's just like, nah, you're done. We're not wasting time. We're moving on to other things we need. What's your thoughts on that? Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the games you'll still be able to go in and play it, but they're not really. They'll have probably a small team just, uh, I don't know, keeping up with servers or whatever. And then, but everything else is going on to the next. There's not really there's not going to be any updates for Anthem. Uh, it's not. Okay. These same difficulties. How about now?
My audio coming
There you
through?
go.
I don't know.
There it is. Stupid OBS changes that for me. But we got that.
Should check OBS first.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I've got you.
You sure I'm good?
Yeah.
Ask the chat. Yeah.
Well, I knew what the problem was. OBS wasn't picking up your audio.
Oh.
Changed.
Says just hearing crazy mate. That's what he says.
Well, it's got to catch up, but.
Oh, it's got to catch up.
Because if there's a delay.
True.
There we go. We got it.
Okay.
All right. Good. Now we got past technical difficulties. Hopefully.
So from now on, you need to check that at the beginning to make sure it catches my audio before we start the stream, like before we go live.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we had technical difficulties with my mic not working properly. I finally got it to work. I've had these Astro 850s Gen 3 about 4 years ago, and they work off and on. They were working really good for a while. Now they're not working too great. It has a lot of issues where they like to turn off when they're on my head, even if the battery's charged. I don't know why, but I got that to work, and then I guess OBS wasn't picking up my sound, so we got that to work so we can go ahead. So I'll say what I was saying about Anthem. Anyways, the reason that EA decided to cancel Anthem, which I don't think is cancel Anthem next. Anthem itself is going to stay the way it is. The servers are going to be open. The small player base, whoever still plays that game, will still play, I guess, until they decide that it's no longer fun and there's no content being added to the game. But EA wants all hands on deck for Dragon Age 4 as well as Mass Effect games. So I think that's why they've canceled Anthem next. I think they see Anthem as a failed project, and they're really hoping Dragon Age 4 as well as the next Mass Effect is going to hit the mark. They're also working on the Mass Effect trilogy remake, which is almost done. It's only got about a month and a half till release, but they've had people working on that. So I think with the Mass Effect trilogy releasing, they want, and no one's going to be really working on that for the most part. They want to move all hands on deck to maybe the next project coming out, or most of their hands. I mean, they'll have set people working on Mass Effect, but I think Dragon Age 4 might be the next game coming out by BioWare, and EA wants all hands on deck for the most part on Dragon Age 4 to make it a hit. They're hoping it's a hit, and they're probably going to have some dumb microtransactions in there. We don't know. I don't exactly know.
Well, yeah, it makes sense for them to want to do that. They need these next games because of it's not been good for BioWare. So BioWare needs these games to do good to kind of pick them back up. So that makes sense why they would do that. But it's always sad to see them go. It's not a huge topic. Yeah, get that out the way. Anthem Next has officially been canceled, and game is pretty much dead. But there's a game that's really popular. That's Fall Guys, and that really blew up in the summer, especially when COVID started. That was a huge thing. It's now coming to Xbox. So
yes,
Fall Guys will now be on Xbox. Another thing is it's also it's going everywhere. It's going to Switch, and it's coming to Xbox as well. And in the Nintendo Direct, they announced that Fall Guys is coming to Switch. The major thing with that is actually that happened recently is Epic Games actually purchased Mediatonic, which is the developers of Fall Guys, and I didn't know this. They also develop Rocket League too. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they got Fall Guys and Rocket League on Epic. So what does this mean for like Fall Guys? I know that Fall Guys is going to be going into the Epic Games Store. It's going to be moved to but what is this like? What are your thoughts on this, bro?
Well, I think it's about time we finally get Fall Guys on Xbox. So they first announced it on the Nintendo Direct, and that same day it had on Xbox's Twitter account they announced that Fall Guys is also coming to Xbox, and they're going to be coming this summer at the same time. It's going to be awesome. I mean, the game isn't as hyped as it was last year when it first came out, but it is still a really good game. People play it. It's got a good fan base, and I'm happy that it's finally come to Xbox and Switch. I don't know why it didn't at first. I think a big reason that it didn't come to Xbox and Switch at first was either they had a deal with PlayStation, which I'm not sure is true, or they didn't think that it would do super well as it ended up doing, and they wanted it on the biggest console player base, which would have been the PlayStation with over 100 million PS4 sold. So I think that's probably why they chose PlayStation, because they didn't think it would be as big of a hit as it was. As far as Epic Games buying Mediatonic, I think Mediatonic was going to be bought out by someone in a matter of time, no matter what. I mean, if you think about it, they've made some really good games. I mean, they had Rocket League, was the publisher, developer.
I think.
And Fall Guys did good.
Fall Guys blew up. And of course that's the reason why they purchased them, and they've got Fall Guys, another huge multiplayer game, and Fortnite. Everybody knows Fortnite. Like, they're getting some huge multiplayer games, and Epic really, they've got these, they're great and big for multiplayer games, and people really love them for the multiplayer games, and that's what they have. And I think they're kind of like, this is what we want, kind of our market, because then you can have the microtransactions, and you know how much money they've made on skins for Fortnite, and probably even Fall Guys, because people buying skins for Fall Guys as well. It's they see the money and they see the popularity, and they're just like, we're just gonna grab this up, like you see, like Microsoft did with like Minecraft. It's just probably the same thing, and I think Fall Guys it's big, and I don't think it's going away. So I think they're really gonna put more effort into making that a lot better, doing a lot more things with it. And
Well, is Fall Guys on Steam right now? Is Fall Guys on PC, or is it a console game only?
I'm pretty
So is it
sure
on
it's
Steam?
on PC. Yeah.
Because with Epic buying them, do you think they'll keep it on Steam if it's on there, or what?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's something to think about, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'd hate to see it like them just be like, you gotta buy it again, or you can play it on Steam for people, but you can no longer buy it on Steam, or it'd be like, if you bought it on Steam, we'll offer you the game for free on the Epic Game Store. I think that would probably be the best thing to do for both of them.
I think so.
Because it's like, okay, for people who already bought it on Steam, if you come over to the Epic Game Store, you'll get it for free. But it's like, that could piss people off, because it's like, I can't play this game on Steam anymore. But it would kind of shift people over to the Epic Game Store. That could be something. But that's that. Epic Games purchased Mediatonic, and they own Fall Guys and Mediatonic. It can be kind of some big news, for some people. And, it's kind of big news for Epic Games. So let's kind of transition into what happened with the Nintendo Direct. I know we missed last week, so we're kind of getting the broad stuff that we kind of may have missed from last week's. Bring this stuff in. So the Nintendo Direct, it's a 50-minute show. It's pretty long, and they showed a lot of games. They announced a lot of games coming to Switch. There's a lot of games coming to Switch, and there's a huge diverse amount of games. So I'll run through everything that they announced for coming to Switch. Well, first they have 2 new characters coming to Switch: Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that's Pyra and Mithra. That's the name you pronounce it, and it's coming March. And then, as you know, Skyward Sword HD edition announced for the Nintendo Switch. So that's cool. They'll get a nice, refreshing Zelda game, or Zelda Skyward Sword. For people who love that game, go back and get an HD version. That's awesome. They said something about Breath of the Wild 2 news planned for later this year. But keeping with the Zelda stuff, they did, and this is freaking awesome, Skyward Sword themed Joy-Cons. They have a Skyward Sword themed Joy-Cons now, and they look freaking awesome. They look really, really cool, and bet I would love that, but I only have the Switch Lite. I think that would look cool with your Switch, bro. There's also Splatoon 3. It's coming to the Switch. And then Mario Golf Super Rush is announced for the Switch. Project Triangle Strategy announced. Star Wars Hunter. And then, like I said, Fall Guys. Fall Guys is coming to Xbox and the Switch. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, Expansion Pass was announced. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is announced for the Switch.
I'm excited for the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection because it's also coming to Xbox One, which is where I will be playing it. And I'm excited to go back to playing Ninja Gaiden. I played Ninja Gaiden on the 360.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. That's something we'll get to in Xbox. Super Mario items will be added to Animal Crossing. I thought that was pretty cool. So it would be Super Mario themed items in Animal Crossing, like mushrooms, and you go down pipes, and it looks pretty cool. Nintendo 3DS title Metopia is coming to the Switch. Outer Wilds is coming to the Switch this summer. 2 Famicom detective games are coming to the Switch this year. Samurai Warriors 5 is coming to the Switch. Legend of Mana Remastered is coming as well. New Monster Hunter Rise trailer was revealed. And isn't like the Monster Hunter Rise like mobile or on the Switch? Is that like
Monster Hunter Rise is an exclusive Monster Hunter game to the Switch.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Monster Hunter World isn't on the Switch.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you have a new Monster Hunter Rise, Switch exclusive Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter game. A trailer was revealed, which it's a pretty cool trailer. Tales from the Borderlands is coming to the Switch. Capcom Arcade Studio Stadium, Stubbs the Zombie, No More Heroes, Neon White announced, DC Superhero Girls, Teen Power. Oh yeah, that sounds fun, you know. Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for the Neighborhood Plate, but Knockout City announced for the Switch, which was interesting because this was on the PlayStation State of Play as well, and when I first watched that, I didn't watch the full. I watched the summary and highlights basically of the Nintendo Direct and just going through everything, but Knockout City was, I first saw that on the State of Play, and it's like, it's kind of veering off track, but Sony and PlayStation are pretty good at making me think, and probably not, I'm not the only one, that their games are exclusive to PlayStation. Like, games on there are exclusive to PlayStation. But because of what game was that I originally thought it was? A Plague's Tale. I originally thought it was a PlayStation exclusive until, because of when I searched up on Google, the only things that would show up was PlayStation until I got to the second page or the third page. But that's just a side note, that just noticing they're good at making people notice that, thinking that it's exclusive to the PlayStation. But World's End Club is also coming to the Switch. Bravely Default, Saga Frontier, Ghosts and Goblins, Apex Legends gets Apex Legends coming to the Switch, yeah, and
Yeah,
Hades.
Apex is.
The last but not least, Hades. Ugh, if I can speak. Hades Physical Edition is also coming to the Switch. So that's Nintendo Directs in hopefully a short enough nutshell. That wasn't too long and daunting, but if you're excited for any of those games, leave a comment or let us know, and that's awesome. I've talked to people on like Twitter and YouTube, and just if you enjoy gaming and you enjoy games, it doesn't matter what games those are, or what platform it's on. You enjoy them and you have fun with them, and that's awesome. Because gaming is an awesome hobby for I think everybody. But so that's Nintendo Direct in a nutshell. So next we're gonna go to the.
What about my thoughts?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Did you watch the? I don't think you watched. I don't know you watched the. I know you didn't watch the Nintendo Direct, but.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
Anyways, when it comes to the Nintendo Direct, I did not watch the Nintendo Direct, but I did watch videos on the review of the Nintendo Direct, the highlights of the Nintendo Direct, and now I just listen to what you said. And Apex Legends, yes, it's going to be running on a Switch. I know it's crazy. It's going to be, I don't know how fun it's going to be because it's so, the graphics probably won't be super great, but I'll have to check it out maybe. Now, the highlights for me would be the Skyward Sword HD coming to the Switch, because I haven't played that game, and I have a Switch that I have been playing Breath of the Wild on it. I know I'm late on playing that. It's been 4 years since it's been out. But anyways, I'm wondering when they're going to show off Breath of the Wild 2, as well as I was very interested in Hyrule Warriors: The Age of Calamity to play that after I play Breath of the Wild, because that is a prerequisite, like story-wise, for the Breath of the Wild. And that storyline, Hyrule Warriors is not a Legend of Zelda game, but it is a Hyrule Warriors game, which is like a Dynasty Warriors but set in the Hyrule universe. And I'm very interested in playing that game, seeing what it's like. I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game. So the Gaming Spicy Nacho Dorito Bag asked, do any of you have an opinion of the PlayStation 3? And yes, I do. I own a PlayStation 3. I like the PlayStation 3. I think one of the best games to come out on PlayStation 3 was The Last of Us, and that I didn't play that till the PlayStation 4, but there was a lot of good games on there, like Uncharted. So yeah, I think the PlayStation 3 had its missteps in the beginning, but it obviously did a lot better towards the end and sold more than the Xbox 360. So there's that. Anyways, thought I'd give the Gaming Spicy Nacho Dorito Bag a shout out. He asked a question. Try to stay up with the chat.
Yeah,
As
and
far
welcome
as
and talk, and feel free to talk and ask questions and be involved in the conversation. We're here to talk about games, and that's what games about, community, and we're all gamers and we love gaming.
As far as the Nintendo Direct, I feel like 50 minutes and had a lot of filler almost, but they needed to like show that stuff because they have deals with publishers or developers or just stuff like that,
Yeah, it's a
money
lot.
talks.
It's a lot coming to the Switch. Like, I was surprised it's 50, but they needed that time. There was quite a bit announced.
But other than that, yeah, that is awesome. I love the Switch. It's a great console. I play my Switch not as much as Xbox, but I play my Switch a good amount, and then I play my PlayStation when it comes to the exclusives, like God of War, like The Last of Us. Anyways, I don't really have much more to say about the Nintendo Direct. It's Nintendo. They have their directs, and a lot of people said it wasn't that great of a direct, but Nintendo gets away with not great directs as long as they put out the games that they put out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, sorry about that, bro. I got a lot on my mind. So, but just slow down and enjoy your time. Uh, so Nintendo Direct, that's awesome. So what also happened was Sony had a state of play as well, and which was not 50 minutes. It was a half an hour, which is I thought it was pretty good. Not very long, and they had a few games they showed. Uh, so they showed Crash 4. There was an update with Crash 4. It's about time. A next gen update coming to PlayStation 5. They announced that. And then they showed a new developer video on Returnal, the new game Returnal by House Marquee. And I thought that looked really good. And then, like I said earlier, Knockout City. They had a developer attached gameplay video of Knockout City. In which, when I originally watched that, I was like, oh, wait. Like, cause just wondering if that was only on PlayStation, and then saw it on, because they don't say that, but and then Sifu, a Japanese fighting brawler game. Solar Ash. There's Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, which is a 3D Five Nights at Freddy's, like VR, pretty sure. Kenya Bridge of Spirits, which I'm excited for that. Deathloop, and then Final Fantasy VII Remake next gen update. So that was the state of play in a nutshell. A lot shorter, a lot less stuff announced, and for me, my thoughts on it and everything is, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it and go through everything. It wasn't very long. It didn't feel like it was long and dragged out. Like I felt like the Nintendo Direct was, because I tried watching it and I was like, wow, this is 50 minutes. This is getting into, and I didn't have time for that. But I hear like the consensus in the gaming community is it was trash, not great, not very great. But I actually enjoyed the state of play. I enjoyed it, and I looked at most of the games on there. Looked like Knockout City. That looks like a fun little multiplayer game with dodgeballs and stuff. It's interesting. It looks quite a bit of fun. Get a couple friends together and play an ultimate game of dodgeball, pretty much. Returnal, the developer for Returnal, was the gameplay. It looks really beautiful, and the gameplay looks fast paced and it looks cool. I think a Returnal is going to be a good one. And then the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, I thought was cool and interesting. You got VR 3D world, where you're walking around actually as like a child, and it looks awesome. It looks like a really immersive experience. And after that, my one that I got excited for when I first saw it was Kenya Bridge of Spirits. It looks so beautiful, and it looks really, really good, like a lot of fun. And I think that's actually going to be one that Nintendo, or not Nintendo, PlayStation and Sony get me to buy on the PlayStation. And then Deathloop, of course, it looks really good, and that's one of Bethesda's studios. Or yeah, and then Final Fantasy 7 remake. I never not a JRPG guy, so I never really got into that and played that. But from my experience, it was good, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of what was shown there. I thought they did a good job with that. What about you, bro?
Well, I didn't watch the state of play. I've only heard news about it. Returnal looks really good. I think it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I don't have a PlayStation 5 at the moment. I would love to get one, but they're hard to find. So I won't be playing Returnal for a while, but that would be one of the first games I play on my PlayStation 5. That and probably the game coming out in June, spacing it. The one by Insomniac Games.
I don't know. Is it Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank. There you go. Ratchet and Clank.
I was spacing my mind too.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Ratchet and Clank. I'd love to have a PlayStation 5 to play that. But the thing is, a lot of this stuff doesn't seem that interesting to me. I mean, Final Fantasy 7, I've never played a Final Fantasy game. I don't really care to. We got so much other games to play. I'm not into JRPGs. And Crash 4, it's about time. It has a next generation update, but that doesn't affect me. I could play that game on PlayStation 4 without the next gen update, but it doesn't affect because I'm on PS5. Knockout City does look interesting. And then Kenna Bridge of Spirits, like you said, that's a game I'm interested in trying. And as far as Deathloop goes, that does look like a good game in my opinion. And that's going to be a 1-year timed exclusive on PlayStation, which was announced the same day of the state of play. It was announced on Twitter by Bethesda, by Deathloop, the Deathloop Twitter account, that it's a 1-year timed exclusive for PlayStation, and then Deathloop will become an Xbox. So I might wait to play Deathloop till then, or maybe if I get a PS5, I'll play it earlier. But as far as like the Direct compared to the state of play, I feel like the Direct was better just because I have more excitement from like Zelda and games coming to the Switch that haven't been there, like the Outer Wilds that I can play on the go. Still haven't picked that up and played that, as well as they're getting Apex Legends, and to me, and Fall Guys coming to Switch if I ever in the Rise trailer. I don't know. To me, the Nintendo Direct was better than the state of play. I'm more excited right now for Nintendo than PlayStation. I mean, I love PlayStation exclusives. God of War, I started playing recently, and I've played God of War 1 in the past, but not the new one. I love The Last of Us. Horizon Zero Dawn, I played most of it, some of it. Anyways, yeah, I don't know if you have anything more to say about the Nintendo Direct or the Sony State of Play, but
No.
we do have some other Sony news.
Yeah, what's that?
We have games, PlayStation games, Sony Interactive Entertainment games coming to PC. This was announced by Jim Ryan that they're going to start bringing more and more games, PlayStation games, to the PC. And they're starting with what they announced was Days Gone. I mean, we had Horizon Zero Dawn come to the PC last year. We have Death Stranding had come to the PC, and now we have Days Gone's coming to the PC. So PlayStation is getting a piece of that pie. they're going to be bringing more and more games to the PC, and I wouldn't doubt it if God of War comes to the PC. I wouldn't doubt it if they put Last of Us 1 and maybe even 2 on the PC. I mean, having your games on the PC doesn't take away from what you have as a console maker
See,
or making games for a console.
Here's how I kind of look at it. I kind of look at it as there's a lot of the majority of people that are on console are kind of on there because they don't want a PC. They're not going to come off a console and go onto a PC. Like, you have people that, like Gaming Spicy Nacho, he loves the PlayStation 3. And that's like a way older console and stuff. There's still people that are playing on these older consoles that they love consoles. They like consoles. And they could just go over to a PC if they wanted to. So it's not taking away from your console experience. You're bringing that experience to other people so they can experience it as well. Some people say, well, it diminishes the value of the console. Yeah, kind of. But yet, not really, because of there's people that's like, yeah, they like a console and they love the console experience and they want the power, which is well, and that's what we're still pushing towards that. But they like the console experience. They like the plug and play, not have to deal, because I have a PC and I mainly play on PC, and there's games I struggle with. It's like, oh, I'm really excited to play this game. I open it up and it's having errors and I gotta go and troubleshoot and figure out why. That happened with the Medium with me. It just kept blacking out screen and nothing would load for 10-15 minutes. And I had to troubleshoot that. People like the console experience, and you're not taking away. You're bringing an amazing game, an amazing experience to other people. And why would you not want that for other people to experience a game you love? And then you can talk about it to them, because I love talking about video games. Talk about video games I've played with people. So why wouldn't you want that amazing experience to talk about a game you love so much, with somebody else that's never experienced it before because they play on PC?
Well, my thoughts on this are, it doesn't hurt anyone. Plus, 70 to 80% of people on console, they mainly play on console. They don't play on PC. They like the experience, or they're stuck in an ecosystem like Xbox or Nintendo ecosystem or PlayStation ecosystem.
Yeah, there's lots of reasons, not just the one that.
And then,
going at.
Yeah. Then the people on PC, I think that's like 80 to 90% of people who play on PC, they're dead set on staying on PC. They want to play on Steam, and mainly Steam for the most part. So the more games that come to Steam, and yeah, sure, yeah, Valve's going to get a 30% cut of all those games, but you're going to get more traction, and you're going to make more money in the long run. Plus, you get more eyes on your game. PC gaming is a massive part of the gaming community, just like mobile gaming is.
A lot bigger than
Xbox.
console.
Yeah, it is bigger than console. So when you see these games start coming to PC, like Days Gone is coming this year to PC, certain PlayStation fans may be like, well, why the heck are they doing this? And we had this back with Xbox when they started doing this, but it's only shown good things for Xbox since they started bringing games to PC as well. And Halo Infinite's going to be coming to PC. The Master Chief Collection has been ported to PC, and that's bringing new life to the Master Chief Collection. I don't know. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, it makes sense. It just makes sense. To me and to lots of other people, and obviously to Sony and PlayStation, because they're gonna do it and they're gonna keep doing it, and they're just gonna be better off for it, and they'll be able to bring you better games for it. So I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah, but one thing I will say is everyone thinks it's crazy and PlayStation starts bringing games to PC. I don't think it's that crazy. And now this whole console war has been tipped on its head because Xbox has games on PC, PlayStation is going to be bringing games on PC, and yeah, it's not going to be day and date for a while or ever, but it's happening now. One thing that I would think would be really crazy is if Nintendo ever bring games to PC, because they're very strict on their IPs and keeping them
Oh
in
yeah, they are.
house, and they don't barely do anything with their IPs besides on their hardware. So that would be interesting to see if that ever happened. I don't think it will. Now that would be head turning in my opinion. That would be crazy.
Yeah, yeah, but we'll just wait and watch it happen and see its day is gone right now, and I wonder what the next game it could be that comes to PC. Think it'll be like God of War or something like that.
Think it
Just
might be God of War.
take that jump, God of War to PC.
Maybe The Last of Us Part 2 because I don't know how well it's selling on the PlayStation right now.
Oh, The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, that would be interesting.
But I don't think they'll bring Part 2 before they bring Part 1.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even have Part 1 on there, I don't think. So,
No, they don't.
yeah.
We'll have to see. It just depends.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and that's all I gotta say on it. It's good, and not only because it's good for me and makes it so in the future I'll be able to, if I just wait, be able to play these games on my PC, but it's good for other people to be able to experience these games. And
On Windows right now is all the Xbox. Xbox doesn't put their games on Mac, and I don't think PlayStation's putting their games on Mac. It's just Windows personal computers is what these games are going on, which that's where the biggest computer gaming group is. The biggest amount of people play on Windows when it comes to computer gaming.
Yeah, and that's because it's Apple and Microsoft, and those are two big companies that are head to head with each other in the space. And Apple's not going to want to give Microsoft a place to make a ton of money with gaming. There's just on the Apple Play Store, Game Pass isn't going on that. They're not going to allow that. So they're trying to do a workaround.
Now Game Pass is awesome, and they really do want to get it on Apple products. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to use Safari, and Xbox is hoping to get Game Pass on Apple products this year. By the end of the year, that would be optimal, and I think that's what they're reaching for. So just hold tight, anyone on Apple, when it comes to Game Pass. As far as PC games, like console games coming to PC, it's mainly Windows, not Mac. If anyone's wondering.
Yeah, I think that would be your major viability if you're on a Mac or Apple product and you want to experience all these great games. Game Pass. I believe they will get it into the Safari browser, and you'll be able to play there. You'll be able to play a ton of amazing games that you wouldn't be able to before because of your exclusively on Mac.
True. So that's those topics about mainly hitting the PlayStation topics. I thought it would be a good idea to do the PC nonsense, if you could call it, on Twitter. You got a lot of people talking about this PlayStation games coming to PC, but I think we can move on to something else and topic-wise. And
yeah. So we've got something that I know you really wanted to talk about, and this is one of your topics, and this kind of goes into Kojima, but Silent Hill. Are we gonna get a new Silent Hill? And when do you think that will be?
So there's some rumors going on about the possibility of Kojima working with Xbox, but also it's it's murky waters and it's a lot of rumors, so we don't know for sure what's going on with Silent Hill. But Silent Hill has been in the rumor mill, right? It's been rumored to be a new one coming out, which I really, and this has been rumored since last year. I really, really want, like, so badly want a Silent Hill reboot where I can invest my time in a new Silent Hill game, because I've never played any Silent Hill games, but that's my type of game. I love psychological horror. I love the atmosphere. The Medium to me was a great game. I'm almost done with it, and it's been a great game because the atmosphere, and yeah, I like Resident Evil, but to me it's more of an action game, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited, but what's coming up with Silent Hill and the rumors with that is the possibility of Kojima and Xbox partnering, as well as the possibility that there's two games in the works, like possibly PlayStation has an exclusive Silent Hill and Xbox has an exclusive Silent Hill, where I know Bloober Team has been rumored to be making a Silent Hill, and that's a possibility as well. Personally, I like the idea of Bloober Team getting a shot at Silent Hill. To me, that's out of all these rumors, to me that's the most exciting one. And as far as PlayStation, to the rumors last the rumors last year were that PlayStation was going to get an exclusive Silent Hill game, and it looks like those rumors are moving forward, but it looks like there might be another Silent Hill, because what's happening is Konami's trying to they've been getting out of gaming for a while, but right now Konami is actually licensing out their IPs to make some extra money, and they might end up even in the future selling off some IPs. So you got Konami doesn't want to be in gaming at all. They announced that they're totally done with gaming, right? So I don't exactly know when we might see someone buy up the IP, or when we might see a new game, and when Konami licensed out the IP for people to make. So, but to me, like, Kojima showed that he could make a Silent Hill game with PT, which was a demo on the PlayStation, but then Kojima and Konami had a falling out, so that game never got made or finished. So that's my opinion on that, and I think I think that Bloober Team would be best. What about you?
Yeah, well, so the rumor kind of plays, and it kind of got revamped again when people went through interviews of Phil Spencer and his display shelf, and it said the significance of things that are on that shelf, and it showed uh, Kojima a statue next to the Xbox logo, and people are speculating that, oh, what could this be? A partnership with Kojima? Oh, Xbox is buying Kojima Productions, and that's the thing. The big rumor, and people go way overboard in that sense. I think the most likely things would be, you know, maybe Kojima partners with the Xbox to make the Silent Hill game with Kojima Productions. Maybe it's a partnership, because if I know that they, with Stadia, Google Stadia, they were working on a game with Kojima Productions, and then they, of course, Stadia closed all their first party studios and stopped funding that. So maybe Xbox could have given back, oh, we'll fund you for your game, and if it's going to be an exclusive. Those to me, I don't. I honestly don't know what it could be. Those to me, like those are my theories of what could happen. You know, a partnership, an acquisition of Kojima. I don't think. Uh, I really don't think is the best thing to do, and it would be the best. There's so many things that could go wrong with that, and it just doesn't make sense. So, uh, but a Silent Hill game, seeing a new Silent Hill game, I think would be awesome. I beat the Medium, and that was really fun. I had a lot of fun. It was a great story, and I love these horror games and experiencing these horror games with my girlfriend too is a major thing that I have a lot of fun with, and a new Silent Hill game would be awesome, and I think I'd definitely play it and get into that. But that's Silent Hill rumors. What do you guys think about Silent Hill? Have you ever played Silent Hill? And would you like to see a new Silent Hill come up? But
Well, as far as this goes, I have a little more I want to say on Silent Hill, mainly with Kojima.
all right,
I
go
don't
for
think Kojima Productions is. I don't think Kojima Productions is ever going to be owned by anyone or Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or whatever. I do think they do the partnerships. I mean, Kojima makes some weird games. It's kind of a hard pitch when Kojima pitches games. I mean, a Silent Hill game, he might do all right at, but when he makes his own like off the wall games like Death Stranding, the Metal Gear Solid games, they did really good, but they were more like movies. You know, they weren't like as much game. They're like a gamified movie almost. So, um, Kojima worked on Death Stranding with PlayStation. I don't think Death Stranding sold as well as PlayStation wanted it to. I honestly don't. I do think it sold all right, and it has its fan base. But I think a lot of people are like, dude, like this is a long game, and there's tons of hours of cutscenes. And like there's like 20, 30 hours of cutscenes in that
he
game, isn't
likes
there?
making cinematic movie experiences and really immersing you in the story, and I think Kojima is an incredible artist, an incredible creator with an incredible imagination. Uh, to where some people were like, okay, this is a little weird. What's up with this? But yeah.
What's next on the docket?
No, well, okay, yeah. Keeping with the display shelf with with Phil Spencer's display shelf that he has in the background. One thing that I wanted to know that I saw on there would be the orange controller. So we know we've gotten the blue and then the red. Could possibly the next controller be an orange controller? Because there's uh there was other things that were on that shelf in other interviews, like the Indiana Jones hat whip and idol, golden idol, and then later down the line we have I lost my train of thought. Holy cow. My mind just went blank. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we have other things that it's even shown that there was the Series S that was on a shelf way back in 2020, and nobody even noticed that. That's crazy. So everybody's looking in on there, and that's just what I noticed was the orange controller. So maybe the next one could be orange, and if that's the case, that would be another thing that is just we'd have to keep an eye more of an eye out on that on his display shelf.
Yeah, I mean, we see a bunch of different stuff on Xbox, and Phil Spencer does a lot of interviews, and his display shelf, he's kind of had some hints on there in the past. I don't know if he would keep putting things on there purposely, or maybe he does to get people looking and speculating and to be in the news. I don't know. But the orange controller, that is very interesting because we have the shock blue that came out when the Xbox Series consoles came out, as well as we had the robot white that came with the Series S, the carbon black, which came with the Series X, and then just recently the Pulse Red came out. Maybe in a month or two they'll release an orange one that will be called something orange. So I don't know. That'd be awesome. But there was that Kojima statue, wasn't there? That was on his shelf as well.
Yeah, it was next to the Xbox logo.
Yeah. So it was a Kojima production statue next to the Xbox logo. So that's where some of the speculation is coming about Xbox and Kojima Productions working together and a possibility of a Silent Hill. I mean, because there's been Silent Hill rumors, but and it did come out in the news, like you said, that Kojima Productions, after working on Death Stranding, they wanted to find someone to fund their next game, and PlayStation, I don't think, wanted to do it. So they went to Google, and Google's like, oh, well, we're trying to build up Stadia, why not? Until recently, Google's like, yeah, we're not actually going to be funding games. This is a third-party platform now. So mainly, and so now, what would Kojima do? I mean, Xbox is trying to get more diverse games, and if they have Game Pass, they can take more of a chance on games. It's not all about sales. So I think Kojima might have gone to Xbox and said, hey, I really want to make a game. No one's wanting to publish my game. We're just a developer when it comes to Kojima Productions. And I have a track record, of Kojima games like Metal Gear games and Death Stranding. Would you be willing to fund a game or at least publish this game? And I think Phil Spencer thought about it long and hard and was like, well, with Game Pass, with what we're trying to do with the Xbox ecosystem, I really do think we can fund a game for you or publish your game. Now, we don't know if that's a Silent Hill. We don't know if it's going to be some new off-the-wall thing like Death Stranding was. We don't know. But the last Silent Hill, anything in the gaming related to gaming, was the Silent Hill PT demo on PlayStation, and that was done by Kojima. So and it's been 10 years since the last Silent Hill game came out. It's one of those things where they're making too many Silent Hill games. It's just like Guitar Hero. They're making so many Guitar Hero games coming out every single year, and it's just the quality went down. That's the same thing happened with Silent Hill. They were making so many Silent Hill games for so many different consoles and handhelds, and it just the quality went down. People didn't enjoy Silent Hill as much as they did at first. Plus, when they got rid of when Konami got rid of the original developers of Silent Hill after like the third game, and after that also it just went downhill. Huh.
Yeah, but there is one. Is that all you have to say about that, bro?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just making sure. So there is one. So Kojima wanting to. This all makes sense, wanting to partner with Xbox to make his game and stuff. But there is another famous Japanese developer that has stated that he wants to make a game with Xbox again. And that would be the Ninja Gaiden developer. And now we know that Ninja Gaiden Trilogy is coming to Xbox. Do you think that's all there is with Ninja Gaiden, or do you think that's just a little snippet for what's to come in the future? And if there's possibilities of seeing a new Ninja Gaiden game?
So I think with the whole Ninja Gaiden, I don't think that they're going to team up with Xbox to make an exclusive Ninja Gaiden game, however you say it. Now, this collection, there had been rumors before the collection was released that there's a possibility of, maybe a new game in the Ninja Gaiden franchise, or dare I say reboot. The thing is, with these old franchise and this new technology and new developer techniques and all this different stuff, you can do a reboot. Is, in my opinion, it's better than a sequel, as long as like the game isn't with the older games. That makes sense. So Ninja Gaiden, a collection of Ninja Gaiden games, was announced during the Nintendo Direct to be coming out. And then after the Nintendo Direct, there were news articles saying it's also coming out on Xbox and PlayStation. So they obviously had a marketing deal with Nintendo to release it during the Nintendo Direct and make it seem like it's exclusive to the Switch, which it's not. And this happens all the time. We see PlayStation do this. They do this with Final Fantasy. They do this with Call of Duty. So it's not new by any stretch of the imagination. But as far as Ninja Gaiden making a new game that isn't a collection remastered or remake or anything like that, I think they could very well be making one. I just don't think that they're going to be partnering with Xbox on it, and maybe they do. But I think it's going to be third-party, non-exclusive, and maybe there's some exclusivity when it comes to marketing rights and slight exclusive items or something. So when referring to a remastering, it's not really a reboot. That would be more of a remake, possibly. I mean, remastering something, the Ninja Gaiden collection is a remastered games, and we're talking about the possibility of them making a reboot for the franchise. So it's already been announced that they're going to be remastering a couple Ninja Gaiden games coming out this summer. But the Ninja Gaiden reboot, which I'm hoping for, is a rumored and it has not yet been announced. Anyways, that's what I have to say about Ninja Gaiden at the moment. I mean, unless new news comes out, then I don't exactly know.
Yeah. It would be nice to see a Ninja Gaiden reboot. It's to where they'd go through and just try to make a reboot. Would you like a remake, a reboot, or a continuation of the series of that?
I just think a reboot would be best.
Yeah. So, that's all with Ninja Gaiden. Hopefully we'll hear more in the future. Hopefully there'll be more news about it in the future. But we just gotta wait and see. So, moving on to the next topic of Microsoft buying. So Microsoft bought Bethesda, and they're in the process right now of purchasing Bethesda Studios, and kind of along with that merger, aren't they creating a new thing called Microsoft Vault?
It does seem like they're creating a new subsidiary called Microsoft Vault, and I think it is actually going to take over the Zenimax name. I think when they acquire Zenimax, they're going to change Zenimax to a subsidiary of Microsoft called Microsoft Vault, or just the Vault, which it says is going to be under that subsidiary called the Vault. Now, we know Microsoft, obviously, this is something we talk about a lot, and it's supposed to be coming out of the woodwork very soon about announcements, and the deal is supposed to be closing this month on this Bethesda buyout or Zenimax media buyout that Xbox and Microsoft did last year. So Microsoft Vault's just a new subsidiary. We got to keep an eye on that. I think it's kind of cool because I think they called it that specifically because of Fallout and the vaults in Fallout. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that is cool.
But that's just some legal mumbo jumbo. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to. I mean, we'll get more news on Bethesda's buyout or ZeniMax Media's buyout by Microsoft. We'll get more news on that towards the end of the month, and we'll be talking about that for sure. But there is another thing that could slow the process of the law. I mean, of the buyout. You know a little more about that than me.
Yeah, so there's. We'll jump down this rabbit hole. So currently, right now, uh, Bethesda Microsoft acquisition is supposed to be coming to a close, and sometime this month it should be coming to a close. But recently, there's been rumors and there's been things, news popping up about a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit with Bethesda over Fallout 4 DLC and season pass for Fallout 4. So basically, the class action lawsuit is stating that people who purchased the Fallout 4 season pass for $30 at the beginning, it said that the season pass includes everything, every DLC and every future DLC and future content for this game, and which they released some after that. They released the game released. People bought the pre-order. People who bought the season pass got updates and DLC for the game. But later they released something called the Creators Club, and it was for both Skyrim and Fallout 4. And it was, when they released it, the majority of the content that was in the Creators Club at launch was made by Bethesda, and they're claiming that that's DLC, but they had to pay for the Creators Club $50, I think it was, pay for the Creators Club to get access to this stuff, to this new downloadable content. So they're claiming that they lied, and they're basically, the main thing is the lawyers were asking a judge if they could stop or halt the acquisition of Bethesda from Microsoft until they can get this case taken care of and this lawsuit taken care of, because they don't want Microsoft to just get all of Bethesda's assets and just merge them into Microsoft, and that therefore then the lawsuit will be just a lot harder, if not impossible, to do. So that's the gist of it. Do you think it's possible for this to be halted in any way?
I think there's a possibility, but I don't think it will happen. I personally think that the lawsuit can keep going on despite the fact of Microsoft buyout. And maybe they pay, a settlement or something. I don't know. Maybe they get off scot-free for something that they did or didn't do. I don't know. But I don't think it will affect it too much, and if it does, it won't be in the long term. I mean, sometimes it could take a while to go through the courts, and I think Microsoft's going to use the power they have and the money they have to push this deal through the best they can. And yes, they still have to go through the courts. There's a bunch of legal mumble jumble that comes when acquiring a company, when you're acquiring a publisher that is not only based in one country, which Zenimax Media wasn't. They had Tango Gameworks is in Japan, right? Yeah, so I don't think so. From what you explained, it almost seems like some shady stuff. But there's been shady things that EA does all the time. Why don't they get lawsuits?
I think it's because of when they had them sign something saying, the terms of service or whatever, they didn't put a certain clause in there that kind of exalted them from all liability. So that opened the door for that lawsuit to really take more legs than it should have. Because there was another lawsuit with them with Fallout 76.
Yeah, no wonder.
So, but that got shut down because of things in the agreement clause that cut them off, cut their case off, and they couldn't do anything. So, just a lot of factors, a lot of things going into it. The only thing I think that could halt this would be is if a judge said, yeah, but I don't even know if that's if they'd have to get approval from lots or approval from lots of people and lots of people in the law and and to basically say, yeah, we're halting this, we're stopping this, because this is a huge acquisition with lots of things going on behind the scenes. And I'm pretty sure the lawyers for Microsoft knew about this before going into the actually acquisition phase of everything. So I don't think this is going to halt anything, but it's just a major thing that came up. I thought was interesting. But we're so long down the line, that it's not going to change anything. Microsoft pretty much has bought Bethesda, and it's going to bought Zenimax Studios, and it's going to end sometime this month. We're gonna find there. I think we're finally gonna see them finalize that sometime this month, and then get all the answers we finally wanted to see if Bethesda's games are going to be exclusive to the Xbox platform. But
now, do you think that they'll just come out and announce, oh, and this game's exclusive, this game isn't, or new games might or might not be? How do you think that's going to play out with exclusivity for Bethesda games?
I think they'll have, and this makes sense, you know how they've had lots of, when they've acquired other studios, they have a welcome to the Xbox Game Studios family. The developers talking about how they like the experience of being acquired by, or whatever, by Microsoft, and what the plan for the future is, kind of thing, and a welcome to the family video. And there's no reason why there would be any different for Bethesda. And I think if they kind of get that out of the way in that video of the developers saying this is what's for the future, Bethesda's future games are going to be, because if not, you'll have a ton of interviews, people of journalists wanting to interview Phil Spencer, everybody else saying and hounding the question, are these games going to be exclusive? Are these games going to be exclusive? So if they kind of just get, I still think that's going to be the case anyways, that people will still be like, but this can't be exclusive. It can't be. Why is that? Or what about this game? I'm not 100% sure. I can't say with certainty what's going to go down about that, but I think they're going to have an introduction video of welcome to the family Bethesda. Welcome to Xbox Game Studios. At least that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something like that. I think they might not announce Starfield, but they might talk more about Starfield than they have. I think they might show maybe a new trailer for Starfield, maybe say a release window, or maybe just talk about, like, Todd Howard comes out and says why this makes sense and how things are going to change and what things are going to change and what things aren't. Key people in more on what's going on with the whole deal, and why they, obviously we know why they did it, they said it, but like, what is it going to affect? Like, Deathloop was obviously a year timed exclusive. I think that was already a thing, as well as, what is that other game that they're making exclusive to PlayStation? I forget the name of. It's not Deathloop. It's the other one that's not been announced for release yet. Tokyo something. If anyone in the chat remembers the name of the game, other Bethesda game, something Tokyo.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't exactly remember. Tokyo Wire something. Ghost Tokyo Wire. Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo. That's the name. Ghostwire Tokyo is a game also being published by Bethesda that they have a deal with PlayStation. I bet you that ends up being a year timed as well. We'll have to see. But they might unveil Wolfenstein 3. And I think this isn't going to be a major event. I don't think it's going to be an E3 level event or the July Showcase Games level event. I think it's more along the lines of last year. Xbox had July Showcase, obviously. It's not going to be like the June showcase that PlayStation did. I just think it's going to be an Xbox Wire post as well as some Twitter news and maybe a video just saying like this is what's up. The deal's finalized. Here's Wolfenstein. Here's maybe a little bit of Starfield. Here's a release date for Wolfenstein. Here's a release window for Starfield. Who knows? I don't exactly know, but we'll see at the end of the month. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure this quote unquote event or just like this thing that's happening at the end of the month.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens, and I'm definitely excited for that deal to finalize and for us to get to know the future of what's to come with Bethesda and Xbox. So that's really exciting.
That is exciting, yes.
So that's everything. There's the lawsuit.
No, we got more to talk about.
No, I know. That's the lawsuit, and that's everything with Bethesda and going on with the acquisition of Zenimax but moving on to xCloud, it's coming to PC, so it's coming to Windows, and like we said earlier, they're trying to get it onto Safari. They're trying to do a workaround because of Apple and Microsoft are in competition. They don't want it Game Pass on the on the app store, and so they're trying to do a workaround through Safari. We'll see what that's happening, but that's different from xCloud's coming to PC now. So xCloud is.
So let me say something. xCloud has not been announced for PC as in they've announced a date and said, hey, it's all happening and the train has left the station. No, it's not that. It's more along the lines with they have been talking more about xCloud coming to PC, and a Brad Sam's video where he says they want to get xCloud on PC, personal computers. They're going to start with Windows. They want to be on Mac, and they're going to probably have to use Safari for that. They want to try to be on Mac. They want to be on pretty much anything. So, but as far as xCloud coming to PC, we have no option like Stadia has right now to play xCloud through any sort of PC like we do with Stadia.
Yeah, okay. See, yeah, that makes sense. So it's not announced, but we're getting it. It's coming. We don't know kind of when, but it's coming. So there's that to look forward to. I think that would help with a lot of people with if they got low-end PCs to be able to play these newer games. So that's awesome. We're seeing Microsoft and Xbox do great things to try to get gaming everywhere and get games to everyone, and doesn't matter what games you love, they'll have a game for you and a place to play it on. So
true. And there's actually more to talk about when it comes to xCloud. I mean, xCloud's a recurring topic on this podcast, but that's because it's just it's new technology from Xbox. So to preface this at all, to let anyone know who doesn't know, obviously we call ourselves the Brothers in Arms. We're brothers that love gaming. We talk about gaming, but our favorite gaming console is Xbox. So we tend to talk a little more about Xbox, but we love gaming in general. Crazy Mate plays more on PC than he does consoles, but when it comes to console, he probably plays more on Xbox. Me personally, I play more on consoles than PC. I love my Xbox. I love my Switch. I love my PlayStation 4. I have a PlayStation 2 and 3. I have a Wii. I have a Wii U, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. But we talk about xCloud. And if you don't know what it is, it's game streaming. You got Google Stadia, you got Amazon Luna, you got Xbox and xCloud or Xbox Game Cloud Gaming, whatever you want to call it, right? xCloud is on Android devices in beta. It's part of Game Pass right now, Game Pass Ultimate. They don't have xCloud on PC at the moment. They don't have xCloud on consoles, so can't do any game streaming on Xbox consoles. Not like you can with PlayStation Now, on the PS4 and PlayStation 5. But there's also the PC. Google Stadia does game streaming on the PC, and Xbox wants to get there, as well as tablets, which they already do on Android tablets, and they want to have an app on TVs. So it's pretty much the whole shebang. They want xCloud on almost any device that will allow them to have it on it. They've even talked about the possibility of putting xCloud on Nintendo Switch, but that's a hard sell for Nintendo. But they've talked about the possibility and the idea, so that's there. I mean, talk to me more about xCloud, Crazy Mate. Come on, like, we got an excitement going on about xCloud. I know you're happy with the way Xbox is going, especially with Game Pass. We may not use xCloud a lot, but it is some awesome technology. What do you think?
You know, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I think xCloud is it's so amazing that the technology, and it's so amazing that people who are still on older consoles or don't have the greatest hardware or are on a phone, but they like playing games, it brings the Xbox ecosystem and the AAA, AA gaming experience to the people instead of bringing them to the ecosystem. They're bringing the ecosystem to them through the power of xCloud and being able to stream games based on an internet connection. And I know that internet connections have to be better for everyone around the world for this to fully be utilized to its best ability. But you'll have, and I've kind of thought of it this way. You even have something like Halo Infinite. You even have something like Halo Infinite that's coming to older consoles as well. And I think it's like they could use the power of xCloud to give you the full, not necessarily the full next-gen experience or Xbox Series X experience to the Xbox One consoles, but pretty dang close. They could it's like, oh, people talk about how it holds back. Putting Halo Infinite on older consoles could hold it back and everything. I don't necessarily think so if you use the power of xCloud to do this heavy lifting to what these lower end consoles or these consoles, older consoles, can't handle, to offload it into the cloud and on these server racks and then just stream it in coherence, in tangent with the console or whatever system you're on, to bring you the full experience of everything that is on the next gen consoles. But of course you're not going to have the graphics or all that stuff, because a GPU is crucial for that, and power of that I don't think can be is still crucial in the process. So in my opinion, hardware will always be better than uh, game streaming, but I think it's going to be really, really viable for those people that are on older hardware and can't afford to get these amazing high-end PCs or even a console for that matter, a new generation console that it's like you have to get the new gen consoles, you got to get the hardware like the TV to fully utilize its power. So you're doing more than just the console there. So it's people that don't have the money, and like I said, through the power of xCloud, they're bringing the ecosystem to the gamer instead of the gamer to the ecosystem.
Exactly. So when you think about game streaming in general, in the old ways of doing things, it was always we have our console and this is our locked box. It's a locked box. You have to have the key to get in our locked box, and then you can play in our playground, right?
Yeah.
And it's still that way in most of the ways, but nowadays it's like, okay, there's multiple keys to get in our box, and our box is just bigger, right? So now you can have a subscription service, but if you don't want a subscription service, you can pay to buy the games and pay for the console. And yeah, sure, if you want to play online at the moment, you have to have a subscription service no matter what. Doesn't matter whether you're on PlayStation or whether you're on Xbox, whether on Nintendo. They all have pay elements for online play. Besides PC, you know, PC is the only gaming ecosystem right now where you don't have to pay to play games. Now, they do have free to play, like you don't have to pay to play online for free to play on Switch, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, and now Xbox. You don't have to pay online for free to play games, but you still have to pay. So there's so many different ways now. I mean, and instead of, you don't even have to buy a box nowadays to play games. You can just have a phone. You want to play Halo Infinite? Don't necessarily need to go out and buy a new Xbox. You haven't ever owned an Xbox in your life, but you saw Halo Infinite and it looks cool. Go just pay the $1 a month to try it out. Just pay the $1 for the 1 month, and then $15 a month after that, and to just try it out. And you can cancel anytime if you don't like it. And if you really love Halo Infinite or any games on the service, for a matter of fact, right, then you can keep paying the subscription. But if you don't love the games on the service and don't love the service itself, that was a $1 fee, one-time fee to try it out. And Xbox has been doing the $1 one time for $1 a month for the first month for a while now. They even did $1 for first 3 months for a little bit, where they're saying, hey, come try out Xbox Game Pass, come try out Game Pass Ultimate, come try out xCloud, come try out game streaming. We would rather have our Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass than having to pay $60, but that's not working out very well. We're making free-to-play games actually free-to-play finally. But there's still a possibility over the next year or two that they could make Xbox Live Gold free completely. And that's through the power of Game Pass and xCloud and Game Pass Ultimate with xCloud, right?
Yeah.
It's just bringing games to the gamer.
Exactly.
The people
bringing the ecosystem to the gamer instead of the gamer into the ecosystem.
Exactly. Nowadays, people over there in China, when you talk about North Korea, not China, Asia, when you talk about North Korea and Japan, they barely play on boxes. They barely play. They play on their phones. They play on their tablets. They're always on the go, but they still want to game. There's still people who love gaming over there. And that's why the Nintendo Switch has sold so well in those regions. And that's where xCloud is breaking a barrier that Xbox has had in those regions. And obviously PlayStation has done good, but you see PlayStation, since they don't have a mobile gaming device, they don't have a Vita anymore, they don't have a PSP anymore, right? And they don't do any handheld gaming devices, right? So they're actually putting more of their focus on Europe and America, where people still play in houses a lot, and they still play on boxes, on TVs a lot, Now people in Asia don't do that as much. And you're talking about a company that's from Japan. PlayStation isn't even focusing as much on Japan as they ever used to. They used to focus on Japan like first back in the day.
Yeah, and
Nowadays
now it's
they
switching
think in
around.
America first.
Now it's switching around. Now Xbox wants the Japanese market, and PlayStation wants the American and European market.
Yeah, it seems a little weird, but Xbox needs to keep the American market as much as they can though, because that's the American the American console maker, and they need to stay relevant in America as well.
Oh, I don't think they'll have a problem with the actions that they're making, even especially with XCloud and Game Pass. But XCloud, Game Pass, it's a great thing. Like I said, we're gonna continue to be talking about it because it's going to continue to be relevant. So, and as more we learn and more news comes out about it, we'll continue to be talking about it. But so, last thing that we're going to talk about is so there's some new screenshots for Halo Infinite that they released, and they've been consistently releasing new screenshots and information and being transparent with the community and with us, kind of bringing us along with the development of it and showing us, hey, look how good it looks now, and instilling confidence in the community that Halo Infinite will be coming out this fall, like they said, and that it's going to look great, play great, and be great. And I think the more they show us, it just makes me more and more excited for the freaking game. So, did you look at the screenshots or anything?
I've seen the screenshots. They're awesome. They're 4K. They're on the PC, and when I'm talking PC, I'm talking Windows, because Microsoft isn't putting Halo on a Mac. They're putting it on a PC, Windows PC. So when we talk about the blog posts that they're doing every single month, right? They're wanting to bring Zeta Halo to life. They really do. They have this. It's Inside Infinite is what it's called in their blog posts by 343 Industries once a month, and this is going to be happening up until launch. They've talked about art, graphics, live teams. Then they talked about sandbox team. Now they're talking about bringing Halo Infinite to life and kind of letting us know how things are going along. You know, so they're telling us what we can expect when it lands this fall. Now they still are only saying fall. I'm kind of leaning towards September at the moment. I know November 15th makes so much sense, right? But if Starfield is coming out this year, that would be a November-December game. And I think they might end up putting Halo Infinite as a September game. And they had Halo 3 come out in September, and that was a big game. And if that game came out the same time as Modern Warfare, it might not have done as good, because that had 2 months on Modern Warfare. It came out 2 months before Modern Warfare. And then this is back in 2007, yes, but I think September might be the best time. And if they can be ready by September, I'd rather have it in September, even though it would be really awesome to have it exactly on the 20th anniversary of the Halo series. I just think the sooner the better. I'm so excited to play the game. It's one of my
Oh, I
most
am
hyped
too.
games ever. Like, and Silent Hill is up there. The new reboot that I'm hoping is gonna happen. The new reboots, it's up there as one of my most hyped games too. So, but anyways, going through the blog post, these screenshots, they look amazing. They look so much different than the showcase in July. And this is screenshots of in-game screenshots. You even had the one with the gun. Yeah, that sniper rifle. You see, now that looks like more of a modern day Halo. And you
Oh, it
see,
looks
and you
so
saw the
good.
July showcase. Yeah, exactly. When you saw the July showcase, it looked, textures were popping in and out. It almost looked more like clay, not exactly clay, but just like didn't have detail, right? And the lighting wasn't correct. So when they talk about reassuring fans that the game Halo Infinite, the new Halo 6, if you want to call it that, but I call it Halo Infinite because I love the name. It was Halo 6 before they revealed it to me, but now it's Halo Infinite, obviously. And they talk about all different ways to play, right? They talk about, do you want to approach a mission this way or that way? And how they're really tackling an open world style game with quests, and if it's anything like Breath of the Wild, but in a Halo on a Halo ring, I'm all for it. Breath of the Wild, it's so immersive, just jumping in Breath of the Wild, going to shrine, going to the towers, just looking around. I haven't even done pretty much any quests in Breath of the Wild, which I started playing, and we'll go over that when we talk about what we've been playing. But if it's anything like that, then I'm going to be more immersed in this Halo world than I have been in any Halo world, because this Halo world is the epitome of Halo. It's what they want to do to push the franchise forward. This is a 10-year plan, and they have to assure people that it's going to turn out good. And when you have people like the Coalition helping to make this game, when you have other developers, and this is what Xbox Game Studios is doing, they're pushing this narrative. They're saying, hey, we have so many different developers and we're so diverse, but we also can help each other out. Halo Infinite needs help. Coalition, you have some people that can go help. You guys doing really good. You can go help make Halo Infinite a great game. And the delay needed to happen. I'm still a little salty about the delay, and it better not get delayed again. So they better not be telling me a date and then having it delayed, and it better not come any later in the fall. That's all I'm saying. Whether that's September or whether that's November, but the delay had to happen. I do agree. They showed a video. Also, I liked how they had the little snippet, that little audio snippet that was Dr. Halsey talking to Master Chief, talking about Cortana. That was super amazing. I would implore anyone who has an Android phone and when Halo Infinite comes out, just pay $1, try it. Try Halo Infinite. If you have never played Halo Infinite, I'm talking anybody here. If you've never played Halo Infinite, then go ahead, try out Halo Infinite with xCloud and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and it'll only be $1 for the first month. Anyways, that I don't really know what else to say. I'm so excited for Halo. It's just it's gonna be my game of the year. I feel like, and these monthly blog posts keeping me up to date with what's going on. This is really helping my hype grow back up, and it's helping me stay happy about the game and the Halo franchise in general. I don't want to be down in the dumps about the delay, and that's how it was for the first month after the delay. I was just down in the dumps about Halo in general.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely helping bring the hype up, and I'm so hyped too, and I'm hyped for just gaming and the future of gaming. It's just there's so much things going on, and it's the hobby I love, and it's the thing I love the most, and it's just exciting in the future of gaming, and especially Halo Infinite, which I know we're gonna be playing a lot together.
Oh yeah, we will. Between online and co-op campaign, we'll be playing a lot of Halo Infinite together.
Yeah, that's it's kind of everything everything we had to talk about this week. And if you've got anything else to say, bro,
We can move on to what we've been playing and what we're excited for. And I mean, I've been exploring more things in gaming recently than I have for the past little bit. I'm not stuck on PUBG anymore, so that's good.
yeah, yeah. Oh, me, I'm still stuck on Civ 6, but uh, so yeah, I'll start. What I've been playing is I finished the medium with my girlfriend, and I really really enjoyed that game. It had a really great story in my opinion, and it was a lot of fun, and I had fun with my girlfriend playing it. Also, I've been playing Civ 6, of course, and I don't think I'm gonna stop playing Civ 6. I don't think I'll be able to stop playing Civ 6. I really enjoy that game. Also, I dabbled into 7 Days to Die. I kind of get into that again. You know, playing Alpha 19 for the first time. It's a lot of fun, and I'll be continue playing more of that. But really, other than that, I haven't played much games. Just been working and you know busy and but yeah, I've been having fun. That's all about me and what I've been playing. What about you, bro?
So you've obviously been playing Civ 6. And how's that been? Are they releasing new content for that?
Yeah, I've been enjoying the new update they have for it. Uh, the January or the February update they released for it. Uh, it sticks me with it. It just they keep bringing me back, and so they're obviously doing something right. And
Yeah,
there's a
it's
lot of
Civilization
Civilization is a
6.
huge. There's a lot of fans, so and I think they're doing
Yeah,
great, and
and
they
did you say
keep
you've
it
been
up.
playing 7 days?
Yeah, I started playing 7 days again. A little bit of 7 days, and getting into the zombie apocalypse and killing some zombies. That's a lot of fun.
Survival.
Yeah, heck yeah. Uh,
And then you finished the medium?
yeah, I finished the medium. Me and my girlfriend, I really enjoyed the story, and I hope they make a new another one, a sequel. So, uh, that's all. That's all I've been really playing. What about you? What have you been playing? What's all the
Yeah.
games you've been playing? The diverse games, no longer
Well,
PUBG at the moment.
well, I haven't played PUBG in about a week to 2 weeks. About a week to 2 weeks. Um, I've still been playing Halo 5. I love that game so much, and I play multiplayer mainly. But I started playing God of War, and I think I would be more sucked into that if I didn't also start playing a different game, which I've been more sucked into, and that's Breath of the Wild. I've been playing the Zelda Breath of the Wild game on the Switch, and the funny thing about this is, okay, the game is 4 years old today. Breath of the Wild is 4 years old today, as well as the Nintendo Switch. It's 4 years old today. If anyone likes gaming on the go and likes Nintendo, I would implore you to go buy a Switch. Do it. It's $300. If you can find one, do it. The Switch, they're great. Or even if you want a Switch Lite, they're great. Switch Lite. But I've been playing that, and I love the world in Breath of the Wild. It's so immersive. It's so expansive. It doesn't tell you where to go. It does. I mean, it tells you where to go in a sense, but it doesn't like push you in one direction or another. It just kind of says you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this, right? And I've been playing that on my Switch, and I want to get back into playing God of War. But I had Breath of the Wild. I got my Nintendo Switch for my wife for Christmas in December 2018, Christmas of 2018, and I bought the first game I bought was Breath of the Wild. So I had that from the beginning of 2019, right, up until now. So I've had it for 2 years, and I played a little bit of it here and there, but I never really got into it because I never let myself get into it because I was always like, I have backlog here, backlog there, right? Now I will just let myself get immersed. And I think I'm just going to continue playing that. It's been awesome. So 2 years later from getting the game, I'm actually playing it for real this time. And even though it took me away from God of War, that's okay because God of War is a great game and I'll play it. I will play it. And I liked an hour or two that I did play of the new God of War that came out in 2018. But right now, I'm playing Breath of the Wild, and the other game I'm playing is The Medium. I'm still playing that game. I'm getting close to done. I'm about 3/4 to 7/8 done. Me and my wife are playing, so I would have been able to finish it a while ago, but me and my wife got to find time with a year-old baby to be able to actually play the game together, and we have busy lives, so finding time for both of us to be able to step aside and play a game together is sometimes hard. But we're gonna finish the game, and when I finish the medium, show after I finish the medium, we will be doing a review on the medium. We will be talking about the medium. We don't necessarily have to give it a score, but we can if we want to. But we will be talking about it, and we'll be telling. We're not going to give out. We're not going to do major spoilers or anything, but we're going to be talking about our experience and what we enjoyed about it, and it's going to be one of those things. So I've been playing that, and it's been great. There's been a lot of gaming news. I do want to apologize for missing last week. We had some things come up. We weren't able to stream last week, but we try to stream once a week on this channel, Brothers in Arms Gamecast, or BIA Gamecast, and this is where we're going to be talking about all things gaming. About we talk about computer gaming. We talk PC gaming. We talk about mobile gaming sometimes. Now, mobile gaming isn't as much, but we still talk about that, especially with xCloud. We talk about game streaming. We talk about PlayStation gaming. We talk about Nintendo gaming. All sorts of console gaming. We talk about Xbox gaming. This is a variety of topics when it comes to gaming. This is not one set show. We may lean towards Xbox or PC, but this is not a show about Xbox. This is not a show about PC. This is a show about gaming. If you want to come and talk gaming with us, if you want to come and ask us questions about anything, we may not know the answer, but we'll tell you what we do know. So, and that's just what I have to say. I mean, if you want to end the show now, if you have nothing else to say, which I'll let you talk to end it off, but you can find me at Infinite AA 117 on Twitter, and there's BIA Gamecast Twitter, which is just Brothers in Arms or BIA Gamecast, and it's not the one. It's not
at BIA
It's not
Gamecast.
at the Gamecast.
It's at BIA Gamecast. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you guys had fun. We love talking to you guys in the chat. You guys make it so much more fun for us. So a lot more enjoyable. So just thank you for that, and sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like hearing us chatter about games and talk to us about games. Stop by on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and again, thank you so much. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter at BIA Gamecast. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.